So I got some big news. I got an announcement and maybe a little bit of a spoiler. I'll start with the spoiler. The spoiler is today doesn't go very well. In general, I make a few mistakes, and I at one point thought I ruined some of my hardware. It's a little bit of a learning process for me still. I know how to start the forge, I know how to melt the metals, and I know how to pour. I know how to make it all look shiny and stuff. But there are things that still, I'm still learning. As I get more experience, those things I'll be more comfortable. But I almost ruined some of my hardware, and you'll see it when we get to that part. I have stumbled into probably the most unlikely and rarest equipment that I could possibly stumble into, and I have it. We were able to secure it and bring it back. I have it all here. So I'm so excited to preview today some of the material that we're gonna be tearing apart for pretty much the rest of the summer. So stick around. I can't wait to show you that. I don't wanna take away from what happens in this video because I have a few things that I learned. And I'm excited to show it all to you. But stick around to the end because I'm really excited for that. Last week, I implied that I was going to try to melt down 200 pounds of aluminum cans. And it's over 90 degrees today. And since it's gonna take a while to melt those down, not a very long time, but it's gonna take long enough that I would be out there a good part of the afternoon. I decided to skip doing that this week and find a cooler day or a morning that I can commit to it. So we're not gonna do the aluminum cans this time, but they're coming. We're gonna do them soon. Instead, I have been given a battery jump starter by a neighbor. He says that the battery doesn't hold a charge anymore. So we're gonna tear this apart and find what copper is in there, and we're gonna make something fun out of that. Also, a few of my children have watched as I've given away the bars that I've been making, and they've requested some too. So we're gonna make a few bars for my kids, as well as a bar to say thank you to the neighbor who gave me this. So let's go ahead and start tearing this down and see what's actually inside. All right, now you can talk.
I want one too.
I know. And in here, you've got a transformer that will have copper, and you have these electromagnetic interference rings, which also have very slight amounts of copper. A lot of times they'll be bigger and they'll have thicker gauge copper, but in this case, it's a very small little guy. So you just pull them apart and pull them off, and you just twist it. Some of them will come off that easy, some of them won't. But yeah, you see all those little pieces? They get everywhere. And it's real annoying if you're trying to keep an environment clean, like a kitchen or wherever you're gonna do these. So I recommend like a workshop or outside or something. But yeah, just all these little metal flecks of pieces. Okay, so now that we've crushed it, I take my gloves off because this part's annoying with gloves on. But you just pull the tape off, and you got all this copper winding in here. It's gonna be fine gauge for the smaller transformers, and obviously for the bigger transformers, it will be much thicker. Many of you may recall the lights that I took apart last week. That was a big transformer. That was about a 15-pound transformer, and the wires were huge, and I couldn't quite crush the metal box that was around the windings, as it was bigger than my fist. So we can take this tape off. Now this one's got a shield on it. It's got a little plastic shield on it, but it's still copper inside. Okay, so this generates a lot of mess with all that metal powder. So we're gonna clean up the workbench before we continue here, but we got ourselves a nice little ball of copper wire. Sometimes doing a wire stripper with this stranded stuff makes a big mess, but that's okay. So get that wire out, move on to the next one. Let's throw all of our copper in here. If you don't tighten it down nice and tight, the blade pops out. Then you have to pull everything out and start all over again. So. All right. Look at that. That's beautiful. Yep. Problem is, the bars are too small because I'm trying to keep them down to 1 pound. And that's gonna be too small. The last bar did this too. It doesn't let go. I don't know why. Yeah, right? Yeah. No, that's a third of it. If I don't get it out. What? Yep. A little chunk. That pan does not like 1 pound increments or less. 1.5 has been fine, but 1 pound definitely too small. The other thing that I've learned is that I did something wrong where that pan has now got some copper stuck to the bottom of it. Oh my. It worked. It worked. It worked. It's not perfect. It's not very deep at all, but it worked. And this one is for another daughter of mine, and that one's almost a full kilogram. So 970. And this one is for a neighbor, and that's 736. So pretty exciting. Got a nice finish on each one of these, and we're good. I think it's about time to wrap up this video. It's taken me about a week to record it. Just lots of different things going on, trying to get things all squared away, trying to figure out the etching, trying to make the time. This has just been a really busy week for me here, so I appreciate everybody's patience with this one being particularly late. So the good news is I figured out a lot of things. Bad news is I still have copper stuck in the mold. So one of the distractions that I had this week, I am more excited for than I probably should be. I found a local surplus store selling old equipment, and those subscribers that have seen the tear apart videos that I have, I've got an e-waste element to my hobby and my interests, and I've torn apart some old equipment, like old printers, old servers. I even tore apart a 1990, I think it was 1996 or 1994 Toshiba Tecra laptop. And I thought that was pretty cool because that was really old. And then I found this. I found 4 server racks filled with old DEC or DEC, or also known as Digital Equipment Corporation. This old DEC stuff was, or DEC stuff, it's a PDP, or a programmable digital platform, I think it was for. But this is edition 8E. So where I'm trying to go with all this is it's old. They stopped making the PDP 8E in 1979. So I have 4 racks worth of equipment that date back to the 70s. And that company, Digital Equipment, they were bought out by Compaq in the mid to late 90s. And Compaq decided they did not want the material. They didn't want several of the sub departments of DEC, and so one of them they sold out, and it eventually became Intel. If I have all my facts right, basically this equipment predates Intel, which everybody knows is the Intel Pentium processors or the Intel Celeron processors, or the i5 and i7 chipsets and all these things that come from Intel. This actually predates them because this was that company before it got sold and torn apart. So I'm really excited. I've already torn into them a little bit because it's kind of like opening Christmas presents. You can't help yourself when there's something you just, it's such an amazing surprise, you have to peek a little bit, right? So I've already peeked. You're gonna have to wait because there's like 8 different hardware pieces in there, and I'm gonna do each one as their own video. I'm gonna release those as a companion series to the e-waste tear apart series that I've already done. And this one's gonna be a step into your parents' time for many of you. I was born in 1977, and this stuff is older than me. I've got some nice bars out of today, and I'm excited to continue. I'm excited. So please like and subscribe. I appreciate all the helpful comments and the subscriptions. It really means a lot to me that you guys tune in and watch my videos. It really helps me understand which videos I'm doing better at than others when you hit the like button and when new viewers are subscribing. So please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please, if you're a friend of the channel even, please like the videos. If you like what you see, that really helps me understand what content and what things I'm doing are beneficial and people are getting excited about. Also, if you've got any questions at all, drop a comment. I answer those comments and it gives me information that I can put in my next videos. So you're helping me out a lot when you do those 3 things. Otherwise, I really appreciate you being here. So thanks for watching and tune in next week as we start to tear into some of the stuff that I've got. Okay.